Hey YouTube, what is up? Coming to you with a really exciting review on the Wi-Fi FPV Blue Jay U45W from Force One RC UDI RC drone. This is a top seller on Amazon and one of my personal favorites to fly and use for photography and photos. So you're really going to want to check this out. It's also virtual reality headset compatible, which is also sold by Force One RC, and that is just a to die for feature. If you've seen all the FPV drone racing stuff, this is about as close as you can get for this price. It is super fun, and I fly FPV drones for real, and this is honestly just as fun, which is really saying something about it. Just a quick go over on the box. It does come with a rechargeable power bank, real-time Wi-Fi FPV, Wi-Fi control with the app Headless mode, which I've done a video on through the USA Toys YouTube, so check that video out if you want to know more about Headless mode. Flips, one-button takeoff landing, and a low battery alarm. And altitude hold mode is really huge, especially for newbie flyers. Headless mode is also great for new flyers, as well as getting some awesome photography and video shots, which really is the point of a drone, in my opinion, if you have a camera on it. Also makes it really fun to fly and, again, easier for beginners. On the back, you have some features of the Flying C app for both Android and Apple. You can see you have you can control it from your phone, and also a really fun feature is the custom flight route mode, and that allows you to actually draw, as you can see on here, draw on the screen, and then it follows what that flight path you just drew was, whatever it is. You can draw crazy squiggles and the drone will actually fly that path. So let's open this thing up and we'll see what it's all about. Also, if you want to see more on my about the Flying C app, I've also done a video on how to use that. Also, USA Toys, check all these out. I'll link them in the description. And if you want to buy this drone, which I would recommend, especially as a first drone, and it's obvious as it's a bestseller on Amazon, you're going to want to check that out. Again, link in the description as well. Alright, so you can see immediately a really nice matte black, kind of a shiny shimmer there, but nothing too much. Really a sleek looking modern drone. You got propeller guards here, two landing gear, obviously, and that all these have screws which screw right into the frame, which is a really great feature because otherwise they can pop off really easily. You've got an SD card reader with the micro SD card, 4 GB included, and that converts straight to USB, and that's a little extra feature that's really fun. You don't have to buy any of that stuff for your own. 4 extra propellers, really nice for when you crash or ding up some propellers, some screws, and propeller toppers. Extra battery, which is nice. This drone, as with all UDI drones, comes with 2 batteries, which really increases your flight time, and that's the whole point of the drone, and that's why there's 2 included, is so you can enjoy your drone to the fullest. Screwdriver for repairs and changing propellers. Here's the controller, and this is the included flight blinder, and that just, these little arms pop out and it sticks right in this slot on the top of this FPV thing here, and you can see it just like that. And then this can fit any size phone. You put it right in there, and if you want, you can also just take this off and fit an even bigger phone if it doesn't fit within those parameters. I'll go over the controller a little bit more in a second. You can see a nice LED indicator and an LCD screen. I'll try to bring it a little closer to the camera there so you can see it. And it just takes 4 AA batteries there in the back. And again, more on that in a second. Let's get going with the drone to start. And we're also going to be doing some flight outside, as you saw in the very beginning of the video. But overall, this drone really kills it. I'll just pop the landing gear on here real quick so you can kind of see what it looks like. You can see you've got a nice camera on here, and this is a 720p camera, and it's actually really great. I'll put some footage of this on the video as well so you can see. You can see the FPV antenna back here, well protected, but also flexible in case it does crash. What I really like about this is the adjustable lens. Now, it doesn't go up quite as far as you'd think, but that's just fine because when you're flying FPV, you're not going to be going super fast anyways. So this is where it's at. And also, if you're high enough up and you're tilted forward, if it was too tilted up, you wouldn't be able to see it. So this way, you get a really great view. One feature that a lot of people don't know that I've kind of experimented with is if you tilt this down and turn on headless mode, and then you flip the drone around, it can actually film you really well because you can fly it normally, and if you fly it back really fast, you can do some really cool shots like you see those people flying off the cliff or out of the forest or whatever. If you do that, you can get some really cool shots of you getting really small as the drone goes way up into the sky. So that's a really cool feature. Again, really cool colors. Got this blue, the Blue Jay. I just think it's a great name. Like I said, great package. and aesthetically looks really nice. These propeller guards, I'll just kind of show you one on here. Just goes on just like that. And they protect the propellers well. One thing about these propeller guards is they're not like some cheaper ones like I've seen some Simas that are too bendy and they come like misshapen in the packaging, and so the propellers hit it every time it spins. These are genuinely strong and they are not deformed, which honestly a lot of people don't know this, but that's a huge deal, especially when you're looking at quality. This is quality drone for sure. You got a battery compartment back here with a battery connector. And I'm just going to go ahead and plug up this battery so you can see kind of how it works, where it fits, and the LEDs on the bottom. That goes right in there. Slides right in. Plenty of room for the wires, which is another concern. That's just kind of one of those annoyances, but this has plenty of room. As you can see, I didn't struggle at all. And there's a little on switch there, and you can see some nice LEDs that are flashing, and those will stop flashing and be solid when you bind your controller. And also there's some wires here for the camera, which people are worried about external wires there. Nothing to be worried about. All it allows you to do is take that camera off if you wanted. You can just see it slides off like that, and then this unplugs straight from the drone. And so if you did want to fly it with a little bit extended flight time, you could take that camera off, or you could replace it, put something similar weight on the bottom. I wouldn't recommend it, as the manufacturer doesn't really recommend it because it could throw off the weight. But if you want to experiment around, have a little fun, make sure you're still being safe with your drone, but that might, that's an option. And again, like I said, if you take that camera off, it makes it a little bit lighter, so a little bit longer flight time, and that is modular, just pops right on and off. Really great brushed motors. You can hear them, they're not grinding gears, really sound powerful, and we'll get outside and fly that a little bit more. This allows for full calibration, trimming, and you can see here, I'll turn both these on so you can see what it looks like when you can see the lights there on the desk. You bind it just by that, and then you have an auto takeoff button right on the controller, flip, headless mode, and 2 speed modes, which is a really big deal when you're starting to begin flying. You can start out mode 1, go to mode 2, or if you're doing some more precision stuff, you can go to mode 1. All that is fully adjustable on this controller. Full stick control, both of them bounce to the center because of the altitude hold. Really actually some nice gimbals. I have flown nicer drones with worse gimbals than on these UD. And you can see there, you can hold both the sticks to the center and your drone will rev up, and then you can do it again, just like that, and it turns off, which is a really great feature. You can also just hit the auto takeoff and it'll fly, or you can arm it like that and then hit the auto takeoff, arm it like that, use the throttle up, whatever you so desire. Again, fully trimmable and fully customizable. This LED screen also does tilt, which allows for a little bit more customization, a little bit better viewing angle. Some people are concerned that they're not able to see it in the sun. Turn your brightness up, put the shade on, and tilt it out of the sun, and you are good to go. So that's all there is for the inside on this one, really. If you have any questions, again, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But let's go get outside and do the fun stuff and fly and see how this baby performs in the sky and kind of go over some cool features. See the features I've talked about in action. One thing real quick before I forgot to mention, these propeller caps act as a little bit more aerodynamic, but if you do want to replace the propeller, super easy. You just unscrew them from the motor there, and then you put these back on. Also, these motors are fully replaceable if you do happen to burn one out, so that's not a worry either if you're concerned about that. I've also made a video on that on the UDI RC YouTube channel, so if you want, check that out as well. Alright, now let's actually get outside and check out the features of the UDI RC Blue Jay from Force One RC. We're outside with the Blue Jay. This is a little demo of the Wi-Fi FPV. You can see there some fairly real-time movement. We're back here with the drone. You can see it does adjust pretty well to the light. And it is not quite exact real time, but it does work for that. I'm going to go ahead and set this down. On here also we've got the VR, which is a really great way to fly FPV. You can buy some VR goggles from USA Toys Force One RC as well, and that just splits the screen, lets you do that. You got the flight modes where you can draw here, and all your settings that I went over inside. So let's go ahead and get this thing flying, and we'll do a little flight test. Alright, so you'll notice that I'm outside now. The altitude hold is on automatically, and don't freak out if right at first it takes a minute and it is going up and down a lot. It just needs to kind of start adjusting to the air, especially if you last flew this in colder weather like I did. It'll take a little bit to adjust. You can see on low power mode here, you got some nice smooth flight, makes for some great filming angles, really flies well, My favorite part about this drone is that it is really great for the adjustable lens on the back of the camera, so you can adjust that up or down depending on what you're filming. You can also fly it away from you facing that way with headless mode on. It makes for some really great flyaways. I'm gonna turn it on higher speed mode now. You can see it controls much faster. You got much more powerful motors, more powerful movements, but still not too much to freak anybody out. One of my favorite features is the flips right there. You can see it very well recovers. Can you see that okay? Very well recovers once you go down. And you'll notice the altitude hold now is working very well. Just took a minute to warm up there because of the change in temperature. And that's all good. And maybe not. I'm going to go ahead and do a demo on headless mode. So I'm turning this to the right, and now it is flying away from me, and I am flying it with the controller the same way I would normally. It's really cool. This is a great feature, especially if you're a beginner. Makes this drone really easy to fly, really intuitive, and you get some really cool camera angles with it as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. I'm going to demonstrate the auto landing button now. So you press that button, and it goes down. I don't have the landing gear on right now to reduce weight, which is a good thing you can do if you want to get a little bit higher flight time. You can take off the propeller guards and landing gear. I would recommend those though if you're a new flyer or if you're in tall grass like this, so that it can actually take off and land. Landing gear is more important, especially because it does protect that camera a little bit. In this case, the grass is soft enough that it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that auto takeoff button again. You'll see here, this was the headless mode, speed modes, takeoff, and the flip button. And the flip button, you press it, it'll beep, and you choose a direction, and it flips that direction in midair. All right, I'm going to hit the auto takeoff now. You'll notice it takes off in the background, and we are cruising again. This thing's got full trimability with all the trim buttons, and you can also start the drone by pushing both of these sticks down into the center, and then taking off by throttling up. And you can see then it flies, and then you can also land and do the same movement with the sticks to turn it off. That's another option aside from the auto takeoff and landing on the app and on the drone. You can see this thing's got really great range, and it can go way up. You want to be careful, the wind can take it a little, but this is a pretty good one in the wind. And if it does start to fly away and you're worried about it, you can always hold both sticks down in that position I showed you, and it will just drop. I'm going to bring it back down now. You can see you can get way up there for your awesome aerial shots. And it'll hold steady. You can do full spinning. Great aerial photography shots, some great aerial video shots. Really all that you're looking for. And then bring it right back down to a nice easy landing when you're done. This has been a review on the UDI Blue Jay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video if possible. All those things really help out my channel, especially subscribing, because then I get to make more videos for my fans, and you let me know that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Let it go, make my body go, make our bodies high.